We are live, and Mike is making a lot of noise. I don't think Mike was ready. Let's take him out. He's bending over right in front of the camera. He's making a ton of noise, and I just don't want him to embarrass himself here, so we're going to take him out. Welcome, everyone, to Tuesday Night Live, September 12th. Archery deer season is kicking off all over the place. I know Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, other places are putting the bucks down. The bucks have now shed their velvet. The bachelor groups are breaking apart, and it's time to start targeting those big bucks that you're after. We got a new record today. Scott Butler, first comment. Jimmy Butler, not Jimmy Butler. That's an NBA player. Sorry. But Scott with the first comment tonight said he's got his cams out last night. This is probably Brent says, "What's up, fellas?" Gordy says, "Hi." Let us know where you're watching from, please. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate you sharing our live to your Facebook page. Last few weeks, we've had new people on here, so we want to keep that going. Mike, glad you're here. Are you finally set up and ready to go?
Set up and ready to go. Forgot to put my mic on. I had everything ready, and then I forgot my mic wasn't on.
Oh, okay. Well,
had to plug it in.
We all make mistakes. Looks like. Oh, okay, Mike. I saw you was messaging us, seeing what's going on. Oh, well, we're sitting here. There's three of us and three guys on live tonight. And between the three of us, we've killed 2 deer. And so, Mike, how's your deer season going so far?
I have been out, 1, 2, 3, 4 times now since the season started. Saw 2 does on one hunt, and then none on another, and none on the other, and none on the other. So opening day was good. The rest of it's been kind of slow.
Gotcha. Robert James is here watching from good old Lexington, Kentucky. Now, this guy or gal is watching from Augusta, Georgia. Augusta, not known for its hunting. What is Augusta known for, Mike? A
little bit of golf.
The golf, yeah, the Masters. So maybe I'm sure they've got hunting down there too. Let's see who else we got. We got somebody from Harlan County, good old Harlan County. Oh, Jimmy Carroll's not here tonight. Hopefully he's doing well and he'll be on here to watch.
Yes, sir.
Josh flew the bird today on my post. Way to get rowdy. I saw that. I was trying to think of something even better to do, and I couldn't, so I just passed it up.
As soon as I seen it, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah. So Mike's not having much luck in the deer woods. Josh, how's it going for you? You've seen some stuff, but you've been
dude. I've got a lot of questions for the viewers tonight. I got a bunch. This has been I could have easily harvested deer this past week. Easily, no issues. Could have killed a doe.
Why didn't you?
Could have killed does. Could have killed small bucks. We'll get into that. But yeah, it's been great, man. First day, so I went out to Peabody and hunted. Just seen a coyote. Next day, went out up to the farm that we're going to be buying. And, within the first 20 minutes here in Christian County, I had 2 does and a fawn run in, and then 2 bucks followed up. It was a spike and a 4-pointer. Took the week. I think it was Wednesday. I went and bought a 50-pound bag of corn. And John, here in a little bit, I'll have you bring up some of the photos when we do the photos later. But I put out a 50-pound bag of corn, and then I put out a trophy rock. Dug a hole, put a trophy rock in it. Put that, I think, out on Wednesday, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. No, I put it out on Friday because we got off early Friday. I put it out Friday. Went back Sunday to hunt. The corn was already ate up. The salt block was everywhere. And then I'm getting pictures of 5 and 6 deer. Sat that morning, ended up seeing as soon as I literally, and that's the other thing, guys. Last year I hunted out of the saddle a little bit. This year I've already got 4 hunts in my saddle. 100% the way to go. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's by far my favorite. But went on Sunday, so Saturday morning I seen 2 bucks. It was the same 4-pointer, same spike, in the same does. Seen all of them. They came in. I went home, took a break, ate some lunch. Then I went back out. And I can get John to pull up the property for you guys. And this is where I have a lot of questions too. I went to the opposite side of the property because I had a north wind or a south wind, I guess. And I decided to set up on the opposite side to hopefully catch bucks, because the way it's set up, you almost have to have a north wind to hunt it. So I sat on the opposite side on a field where I can maybe catch them coming across. So as soon as I sit down, or I climb the tree, I sit down, a doe, two does and a fawn, same as always. And then a different 4-pointer showed up. And the 4-pointer I'd seen on the previous weekend, it had forks. So it was just like straight up, and it forked at the top. Real young buck. I've got a video of the one that came in. He came in sprinting. I mean, like 100 miles an hour. And his bases were pretty thick. Like I'm not going to shoot him, but you could tell he's very healthy. He's going to be a big buck. And he ends up, eating for a little bit, takes off into the field. And it's like, and the first time it's ever happened to me, I'm surprised I didn't get more nervous than what I did. But my adrenaline was pumping. All of a sudden, I hear there's a creek that runs through the property. And I can hear them when they're coming and especially the fawn, because the fawn makes silly mistakes. And he'll step on a big branch, or he'll like step in I can literally hear them step in the water. So I hear it, and I'm like, what was that? And all I can see at that moment is a huge belly. That's it.
I got the picture, Robert.
As soon as I see it, I'm thinking, as soon as I see his belly, I'm like, that's a good buck. It has to be a buck. There's no way that's a doe. It's got to be a good buck. So I still can't see his head, and 2 8-pointers and a 6-pointer come out right behind him and just start making their way up the hill towards the field. And then he turns, man, and the thing is, he's just on the other side, someone else's property. I can't shoot. I'm going to talk to him about shooting over there. So I need to move closer to that creek. It was the same thing, Mike, on that first day when I sent those videos to you all, and they were, right along that. So I'm going to have to talk to him about moving maybe closer. I don't think they'll have an issue with it, but dude, I've seen 8 bucks and way too many does to count this season so far. It's been 1 week, and it's crazy. Like, I can literally say, I hunted a lot in Eastern Kentucky, and it's so much different. Like, from hunting public to private, Eastern to Western, it is don't get me wrong, I love hunting public land. I do. But this is my first experience with private. Dude, it's awesome, dude. It's incredible. Like, I know I've not went and not seen deer within an hour. Like, right. And then it's nonstop till dark. So it's just awesome, man. Just to see that many deer. And then my trail camera, the cell cam, me and John, we both have access to it constantly. Like, usually it's almost all day, most of the time. It's literally does after does. Like, I'll have 5, 6 does in the corn pile eating, or they're eating that trophy rock. So I'm going to be picking up some antler builder here soon. And I'll let y'all talk, because I've been talking for a minute. But
all right, let's get to comments.
We'll talk about some more stuff about the property here in a little bit.
Doug Clayton from Piner. Sorry, Doug. I know you commented that forever ago. Glad you're here, Doug. Our good buddy Dwayne Best. It's deer season. It's actually also elk season in Kentucky. Dwayne killed a Jake with a 5-inch beard and little over half-inch spurs Sunday morning. Dwayne, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go right now. I want you to change your profile picture to that picture of you and that turkey, because I'm tired of looking at that same picture of you and those bass. Not only am I tired, it's just getting old, Dwayne, but I get jealous every time I see it, because you're just the bass slayer. Philip Bitley, who I think Philip has a rifle tag for elk, says, "What's up, fellas? Hope everyone's doing well. Went out hunting there twice and didn't see anything. I'm also going to try and get out for ducks this weekend." I thought about going down to Elkhorn Creek. I've talked to several people that say go to Elkhorn Creek. Hey, if you're going duck hunting, though, make sure you fill out your survey. I want to say the HIPAA survey. That's not HIPAA. I can't think of what it's called exactly. But make sure you fill that out. It's free on Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. Go to your profile. And then
releasing those ducks medical records.
You got to get your federal duck stamp as well.
Yep.
Floyd is watching from Goffin. Anthony says hello. Scott's had 5 does on his spots. He had 5 does there 15 minutes after setting up. Here's a comment I was wanting to get to. Gordy says, Gordy's in Ohio. Their deer season hasn't started yet. Gordy says, I got qualified for our Metro Parks to deer hunt, but didn't hit the lottery on the fourth guy up if people take out. Gordy, is that like it sounds to me like that's like in an urban area, Metro Parks, which means, they want people to kill those deer. So, Gordy, tell us more about that. I'm very interested in that. Scott says the deer are hungry, and so is Scott. Let's see. Alex says our season doesn't start till Alex Terrell. I don't think I've seen you on here before, Alex. Glad you're here. We're going to be talking about deer season every single Tuesday night from now until January, and probably even after that. So, Alex, tell us where you're from. We're glad you're watching. He's also says he's never hunted out of a saddle. So that's something you're going to need to try, Alex.
Yeah, man.
It used to be like Bub. Bub Tackett bought a saddle, doesn't like it. But, Bub's kind of feminine. So, Robert James says, I'm wanting to go out. Good point from Robert. This weekend will be the third weekend of deer season in Kentucky, which means it's also crossbow season in Kentucky. That can be controversial, Mike. Some people hate crossbows. They want them to have their own season. I'm all for it. So if you got a crossbow, go out this weekend and get it done. He said, I hope the temp drops enough before dark, 80 to 59 in Madison. So I'm guessing a high of an 80, low of 59 in Madison County.
Yep.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got that crossbow sighted in, man. It is, as it's called, Wicked Ridge. It is.
Isn't it impressive?
And I do plan. I'm not gonna be able to hunt this weekend. I'm gonna be in Cincinnati going to the Bengals game. But next weekend, that crossbow is coming.
How many Bengals fans we got on here? We got any Bengals fans? We got folks from Ohio and Kentucky.
Quite a few.
We got folks from Ohio and Kentucky, and Joe Burrow. First of all, two things. Joe Burrow did not look himself on Sunday.
Nope.
I think the calf is still bothering him. You know who else's calf was bothering them before this weekend? Aaron Rodgers, who has an Achilles tear. So hopefully it doesn't happen to Joe Burrow. But don't be surprised if it does. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. I said that to Josh last night, and he said he hopes I tear my Achilles.
I hope he does. I hope he wakes up in the morning and
Goble
Ratliff bed and he tears his Achilles.
Goble Ratliff from Pike County. Goble, how's it going in Pike County? I was over there opening weekend, killed 2 deer. I know they're elk hunting over there. And their guy, Jimmy Carroll. Coming in a little late, Jim.
Yay!
Coming in a little late. Maybe you're coming in from the deer woods. Let us know. Jimmy
had a great weekend this past weekend. Man, he had a lot of fun out in the woods.
Yeah, but he didn't punch the trigger.
Didn't pull the trigger on him. Yeah. Fact is that he let me in on a little fun fact. That's where he wants you to take your daughter.
Yeah, he told me that.
And he saw like 20 deer on Saturday. That's great.
He's got a messed up buck that he wants to just remove, and he said my daughter can shoot it. It's like maybe like a 7-pointer. It's got like a normal rack and then a deformed rack. And I'm like, heck yeah, that'd be awesome. I think I showed it.
Get that crossbow to you soon.
So if you are watching from the Kentucky Outdoors group, your name shows up as Facebook user. If that is you, if it keeps saying Facebook user on my screen when I show it, like this person that saw 42 deer in one sit, if it keeps showing that, then you can either hop over to the Eastern Outdoors Media page or just type your name after your comment. So, seen 42 in one sit, - Mike, whoever's saying it.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. There's one. This person said, glad you're seeing bucks. Mine have all disappeared since opening day of bow season. Get you some antler builder. Find your local feed store to see if they carry it. If not, ask them to. It will. It may not be the buck you saw opening day, but it will bring in deer.
Yep.
Personal guarantee.
It will.
A personal guarantee that it will. Jimmy's been at Anderson, Washington County past Saturday morning, 20-plus deer by 10:30. Seth killed him a nice doe in Harlan County. I saw that.
Awesome. Congrats.
Okay. Oh, look what Dwayne did.
Yes.
Look at that. Now that is a handsome fella right there, Dwayne. That's a good-looking fella in that picture.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at deer camp.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll talk about it for sure. Hold on a second. I want to do a little something here real quick. Everybody take a look at this. Look at that guy. Killed a turkey with his bow, full out camo, rocking the beard. Dwayne, love it, brother. Can't wait to see Dwayne at deer camp. We're having deer camp at Peabody WMA in about three and a half weeks.
Almost here.
3.5 weeks we'll be at Peabody, October 6th through the 8th. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll be in Harlan County bear hunting, which I'm so excited about. Probably never been more excited than to go.
You can focus this year.
I can focus. Last 2 years of bear season, I have tried. I've been multiple. I've had either, I've had my bow during archery season, so I should shoot a bear or a deer. Last year, I almost shot a deer during bear season. It's just a little too far off. And then in the winter during rifle season, I take my muzzle loader to shoot a bear or a deer. This year, I'm just focused on bear, and I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Philip says migratory bird survey, and you have to have a federal duck stamp. Yeah. So get up there and do that. 2 years ago, I had a guy reach out. He's like, "Hey, I saw that you're wanting to go duck hunting," and I don't remember this guy's name. And if it was you, I'm not talking bad about you. It's just straight facts, right? So he's like, "Hey, I saw that you want to go duck hunting." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you have a boat?" I said, "A John boat." I said, "No, I got a kayak." He said, "Okay, we go in kayaks." He sent me the place we're going to go. I said, "All right, sounds great." I called my friend Daniel Carey. He wanted to go too. We all had our kayaks. We were ready to go. I went out. I did my survey on my profile, went out and bought the steel shot shells for my shotgun, bought a choke. No, I didn't buy a choke, actually. And I bought my federal duck stamp. Ended up being $100. My buddy Daniel, he went out and did the same thing. The guy calls me at 4:30 the morning of, and he's like, "Man, it's really cold and rainy." He said, "I don't think we'll have any luck." He's like, "So I'm just not going to go today." I'm like, "All right, that's cool, man. I'll go back to bed." Well, come to find out, that's exactly when you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about duck hunting at the time. So he said really cold and rainy. So I want to know, Philip, how's it going to be this Saturday when it's like 85? Those ducks still moving. So anyway, Michael J. Sexton, Stephen Carroll, say hello. Shout out Realistic Hunting YouTube channel from anonymous sources. Well, Scott Butler, when are you going to shave your double chin? That's why I don't shave, Scott. I'm covering them all up. That was weak.
He also
Scott.
said.
I mean,
He also said.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he also said go Browns. Me and him was.
Oof.
Me and him was like seeing eye to eye, and we were friends. But it's kind of. It just went down a little bit, Scott. It went down.
All right. So here's the Metro Parks. Here's what Gordy got drawn for. It's farms that have been donated to our Metro Parks, 3 great hunting farms. So if they tag out, Gordy is 4th in line. Let's see here. Maverick Thomas says Houday. Houday going to go 0-2 is what I'm saying here.
Just
Slavin
like
this weekend, Josh. Go Browns. Crossbow compound gun. It's all great. No hate. Go Browns. Oh, he's from Northeast Ohio. Go Browns. Yeah. Bobby, I meant to reach out, Bobby. How did you guys do last weekend? Hopefully well. I didn't hear from you, so I'm assuming maybe it wasn't great. I don't know. Hopefully. 0. I'm not sure. What did I say to have them say 0?
Potentially deer.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Jimmy Carroll calls that deer Snagglehorn. Brandon Kloss is the one who saw a 42.
He got a real nice buck, too.
Yeah.
All right, Christian.
Nice
listen, Christian, seeing Christian's name reminded me. At the last 15 minutes of the show, the last 2 weeks, we've been doing age your deer, score this deer, how old is this deer segment. So if you have photos, whether it's a trail cam photo, it's a photo of a deer that you kill that you want us to guess the measurements on, send that to me, John Stepp. You see my name on there? Well, you see it now. Is that a lowercase J? What am I doing? Send that to me and in Messenger. I've already got one loaded and ready to go from somebody. I don't remember. Robert James, I think. And so we'll show your deer. We'll show your deer on the screen. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy it every week. So, Josh, why haven't you killed you've had deer come in below you. You've had deer come in 30, 40 yards out. You've had deer in your corn pile. I don't even think you've hunted your corn pile.
I have. I hunted my corn pile. It was the day that I got the cell camera out, and I hunted that morning. And when I got up, I was literally hanging my bow and stuff, and that the 2 does and a fawn came in as I was putting the bow, and they spotted me and they ran behind me, which was I forgot what I was about to say. I'm sorry. They ran behind me and then they stopped. And I thought, well, they're gone. And then I started to put my bow up again. And by the time I started messing with my bow again, they were literally, I didn't even notice, they were like 20 yards to my left and they took off running again. So I have hunted the corn, because then just after that, luckily I got up in the tree just in time, because those 2 bucks came in. Now the 2 bucks, the does would have probably went to the corn had they not seen me. But the bucks, they kind of skirted around it. And as you've seen from the camera, I've not had any bucks touch the corn yet. So I think, and I know a lot of people say like bachelor groups already probably broke up, but I did see a bachelor group literally this past Saturday. And I mean, I don't know everything about hunting. I'm not an expert, but I think once they start breaking up and I get like that more dominant buck in that area, because I've got so many does now that I'm realizing, I think some bucks are going to start coming to that corn.
So Philip said, Bobby said he saw plenty of does on Kentucky public land. Bobby drives here from Northeast Ohio, and Bobby has a lifelong Kentuckian and a hunter. We're so glad that you come here to hunt. I love that. Philip says, so going back to early duck season this coming weekend, he said in early season you can only shoot 2 wood ducks and teal ducks, so the hardest part is identifying the ducks and then finding where the ducks want to be, because they don't care as long as they want to be there. So I am not the person to identify which ducks are which. I'm not that guy. So I need to link up with somebody like Philip who can say, hey, you can shoot those, you can't shoot those. I guess teal ducks are like mallards.
They're a little smaller, I think, and they're different color for sure. But the wood ducks, I'd love to have a pair of wood ducks, like as far as like get a couple mounted for the wall or something like that. I've always wanted to do that. Plus, I like eating duck. I'm a huge fan of getting like duck meat. Yeah, I love eating duck meat. It's good.
Duck mounts. I think my favorite mount, if you just had to go like pound for pound, and like, you know, antlers didn't factor into it, or an elk or something, you know, of course, like a big elk is amazing. But dude, a mounted pheasant is one of the best mounts you'll ever see.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Duck mounts are really cool. They're really cool. That's something else. If you have like crazy mounts or any picture that you think people want to see, we'll love to share it on here.
I had duck. I had duck, I think, first time 2 years ago. I'd never had it before. And it's literally like, I know duck hunting is like addictive and fun, but I only want to go to bring back as many birds as I can, because it is freaking amazing, dude.
I love it, dude.
Wood ducks. He said wood ducks are easy to identify. The teal ducks are very small.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to just I have to do some homework. I need like an identification sheet. Casey says make duck poppers. Facebook user says I love duck and dumplings. So yeah, there you go. Jimmy says let it fly, bub, but I've not seen. Oh, he's telling you, Josh, let it fly. Yes. So here's my question. You talking about, I see all these deer, and I've never seen this many deer in my life, and blah blah blah. You're like got so many does, like just overrun with does. So why haven't you killed? Why haven't you just taken?
Well, starting out, you know, starting out hunting. This is the first year I've ever hunted this property. It's 65 acres in total, so it's plenty enough for me. It's a really good area. There's plenty of does. Obviously, there's plenty of bucks. If I've already seen, 7 bucks in really a week, I'm seeing the deer. And when I first started, the first day I hunted, I ended up I was going to hunt down in the creek bottom, but I'd seen deer in that field before in the evening, so I decided just let's just do a short walk, set up right on the field. I found a really nice tree with just like it was covered in branches, and I was like right in an open pocket, so probably climbed like 24 feet. and does started pouring in. Those 2 small bucks poured in. I put a video on my Facebook page, but then as time went on and the camera got out, it was doe after doe after doe after, like, I've lost count. Like there's probably 9 or 10 does that I'm seeing on the 65 acres. So, for me, starting out, my point of view, and as I already said, I'm not an expert.
I think, sorry, I was reading a message. I think you're seeing more does than that. I think there's more. I don't think every time you see a doe in the corn pile, it's the same does. I think
I'm sure it's not. Yeah. And I just, first starting out, I really didn't want to shoot anything until I knew the property well and I knew exactly what I was dealing with. I wanted to know how many deer were on the property, what kind of bucks, how many does, how big of bucks, all that stuff. So I kind of held off. I mean, the first day I hunted, they came in the field at like 4:30, and it's kind of weird because I was in the tree and it got dark and I'm like, man, how am I going to get out of here without spooking them? And I literally got who's going to be my neighbor. He texted me and he was like, hey, I need to mow next to the road real quick. Is that going to bother you? And I was like, no, go ahead. And he started mowing. Their attention went to the mower, and that's when I climbed down and I snuck out of there, and they didn't see me. So I got lucky with that. And they were never bothered by the mower. They hung out there probably the rest of the night in that area. But the reason I hadn't been shooting does is I didn't know how many I had on the property. And I know, like, later in the year when the rut starts coming around, if you have does on your property, it's going to, especially if they're in heat or whatever you want to call it during the rut, it's going to attract more bucks is the way I was thinking. However, I also know that you need to harvest those in order to move or make room, I guess, for more bucks. They're eating up all of your resources. So my question to everybody is, if I'm seeing all these does and I've got right now, I know this is going to change quite a bit over the next 5 months. How many does should I harvest? If I'm seeing that many does,
let's ask Mike what he would do. So Mike's went out. Mike's went out. Mike, you saw deer maybe first day and then after. If you're out this early in the season, and let's just take you and transplant you to where Josh is. So, I mean, if you're in Christian County, you're leading the state in how many deers are killed every year.
Mm-hmm.
There's way more does than bucks in Christian County.
Yeah.
There's an overpopulation of deer in Christian County. Right, like 3,400 killed every year out there. So for early September, 12 days in, 10 days in the season, are you waiting on those does? Are you waiting till after the rut, or are you killing them early? Is there a number that you want? I mean, you got 3 doe tags.
Yeah, I think and specifically if I'm putting myself where Josh has been, and he's had some opportunities to probably get at least one of those deer, I think I'd be taking at least. So, Josh, and you're new to private land, and what's different about private land is you can put too much pressure on it eventually.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying. You're probably good to at least take, especially if you're getting in and out of it carefully.
And I'm the only one taking.
Yeah. So if you're taking, I think you could probably take 2 does. Now, this is probably what I would do. I would probably get a doe early. So the next time that you hunt, if a doe presents, especially a mature doe, presents a shot, I'd be flinging.
Right.
And then you might back off and say, okay, I've got that doe down. I'm going to probably focus on a buck. And then say we get into the rut and maybe you've gotten a buck, maybe you haven't. And another doe comes in and gives you an opportunity. You're just like, you know what? I got a doe early in the year and I just want to get me a deer. I'd shoot another doe. So I'd probably at least take 2, if not 3 does off that property. Maybe get you one under your belt and then decide to buck hunt for a little bit. And then, if a doe just, for me, this happens to me sometimes as a doe, if I'm just sitting there and a doe comes in 10, 15 yards and I've got my rifle and it's deer season, I might be buck hunting. But dude, if a deer just presents a shot, I mean, passing it up, my goodness.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I was looking at was, I don't like. I know the property, the layout of it, pretty good. It's obviously there's a lot of deer on this property, good sized bucks, plenty of does. The other thing that I've been worried about is I know the potential of what could possibly, like the other night when I hunted, that bachelor group came in. Completely surprised me out of nowhere. And what I get really worried about is, and I know what you're all saying, I agree 100%. And when I get back next weekend, I'm definitely, if a doe presents itself, I'm gonna take it. But in my mind, just because I know of the potential, I'm thinking, man, here comes these does. What if a buck is just a little bit behind, and I shoot this doe, and then it rattles everything in the woods, and now this buck doesn't come through, and I don't get that. So that's in my mind too. I'm thinking,
but
man, I really want, because
your does and your bucks haven't been coming in together though.
They haven't, but that's what I'm saying. It's only been a week and a half that I've been hunting it, and I need to figure out their patterns. I need to figure out exactly what they're doing. And now I can tell you, those young bucks, they're dumb. The does, they're dumb. Like they come out, dude, it's nonstop. And the two young bucks, the 4-pointer and the spike, I've never seen them separately. They're always together, always. The two does and the fawn are always together. So I'm starting to figure out how they kind of maneuver on the property and everything. It's just I want to kill does. I want deer meat in the freezer. I do absolutely.
Real quick. Real quick, Josh. I'll add this real quick, and I'll let John get on it. Move on with what you wanted to say, buddy. So I think about that all the time, but here's where it gets worse. What if you're passing up all these does, and you've had tons of opportunities, and then you get to the rut where you really have a chance of a buck following a doe in? And that's when you want to have that mindset is like, man, if I shoot a doe and she's reeling in a buck and I screw up and bump him because I shoot her first, get that doe knocked out early. Get her knocked out, and then that pressure's off.
That's what Eric said too.
Public and private, which you have a lot of public land experience, that private land is different. You have to approach it differently because eventually you don't know what's going to happen. The more you put pressure on it, you might start seeing less deer. And if you've skipped a bunch of opportunities, you might regret it later.
Right. Yeah. And that's another thing too, is it's like 60, when you say 65 acres, it sounds like a lot. It really does. But really, when you get down in there, like it's a good area to hunt. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of space.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a deer population, it's not.
That's a small area.
It could take me 2 times of bumping these deer and they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why, I'm trying to be when I go in and out, I'm very, very cautious, taking my time, getting in. Dude, I've been prepping everything. This is the most I've put in the deer season in a long time, and really amped up to get in the woods. Actually, dude, I wake up at 3:30 and I'm like, all right, let's go. It's time to roll. So I don't know, man. I honestly, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to hunt this property and be able to live there for the rest of my life, because it's a special place. It is, man. It is. What do you think, John?
I want to get to the comments and see what other people are saying. Move back up here. I don't know. I saw this one, and does here today, here to stay. So I'm guessing they're saying those does will be around during the rut. This person said they shoot at least 2 does. Scott says 2 or 3 ASAP, plenty in the area. That's the thing. Those does, even if they're staying on the 65 acres, those animals have a much larger range than those 65 acres. Right. And there's a lot of land around you. Casey says typically you'd like 50-50 doe to buck ratio to truly manage your herd. Gordy says as many as you can. There's plenty around. This person says he's taking 4 or 5, seeing 10 at once. One thing that I think I don't think you mentioned is you already have groups of does coming in and pushing other groups of does out.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already fighting over that corn pile. That's why I say I don't think you have to worry about. I think you could kill a doe and still have those bucks come in, no problem, because you're going to kill the doe at the corn pile. The bucks haven't been in the corn pile yet. So Brandon says he doesn't kill does till last weekend of gun and later. He saw 3 fawns nursing last night. Also, Brandon killed a really nice buck that we'll show you later. Jimmy Carroll says he's hunting Saturday. He'll take a doe if the buck doesn't show. And then Michael had an easy opening weekend. First time ever he killed his target buck on the first day, on the first sit, on the first set of the second day, and it's his biggest deer to date. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man.
Talking about killing does and worried about killing the buck, Gordy says they'll settle down if you're not making much noise. Brandon says mature does are harder to fool. Let's see. Seen does run.
Yeah, Josh, if you get you a big old doe, just get one of those deer sleds or whatever, or one of those carts. Don't field dress her where she lays. Go get her out and get her out as quiet as you can, and field dress her a little bit away from the area, and you won't disturb much.
This is why you want to hunt with your saddle. Kill the doe, drag her out of the way, move down the property. You're mobile, right? You're not in a tree. You're not in a ladder stand.
Yeah.
So I think you could do it both in the same day.
And somebody asked earlier. Somebody asked me what saddle that I'm using. Me and John both. We have. Which one do we have, John?
We both have the tethered Phantom, and I think it was Philip. He said he also has a tether. I meant to mention that, and I forgot.
Okay, yeah, I love it, man. If you are interested in the saddle, but you're like kind of iffy about it, I'm telling you right now, if you like to hunt deep, you like to hunt public, as I've been doing the past week, hunting private, the saddle, once you hunt in it a couple times, like people don't give it time. If you just give it a little time and get used to it, it's very comfortable.
I need to get me one.
I love it, man.
I still think though that down there where you have the corn out, I think you should put just a camouflage in a blind. I think you should get that way because it's easy to get in and get out. And here's the thing about if you say I don't want to shoot that doe because the buck might be behind it, you live 10 minutes from there, right? Is that what you said? 10 minutes?
It's like 13, but yeah.
You live 13 minutes from there. So it's not like you're driving to Peabody. You're worried about bumping a deer you're never going to see again. That deer's going to come back. There's no pressure there. I think you're overthinking it. Are you running a two-piece saddle, Josh? A two-piece saddle.
I don't know exactly what that is. I'm
going
to say no. I don't believe so because it's just one piece.
Yeah, I don't know if I know the difference.
I'm honestly not sure, James. Saddle. Tell me what a two-piece saddle is.
A two-panel? No, ours is a full panel. The part that goes around your butt is a solid panel. Really, it's just more support for your back. No, this is not like that, James. A 2-panel. Thanks, Barrett, for pointing that out. Ben says you should suggest going with a Hawk saddle, cheaper option, very comfortable. Man, we've been using tethered saddles, and those guys, Greg and Ernie and Bobby and Carl, they've been on our show. They are friends, acquaintances, I guess you'd say, friends of John Allen who works here with us. So if I'm going to use any saddle products, I'm going to use a tethered. And I just think they're the best quality. They aren't the cheapest. They're definitely not the cheapest, but I think they're the best quality. And I think that they kind of lead the way in saddle hunting because a lot of companies have copied their ideas over the years. So that's what I would do.
I need to get me one because I think it would really benefit me on private property.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to, honestly, I don't know how you guys approach this. I think it's going to give you a leg up on the other people that hunt that property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're going to the same stands and you can be mobile and move around and, catch those deer moving and transitioning. We need to work on getting you one for sure.
We've got a ton of stands up, but sometimes you see deer do things at random times, and it's like, I don't really. Fact is, I'm taking off work on Friday. My uncle, we have a stand in a piece of woods. Mm-hmm. He drove by there on a side-by-side the other day, and the stand's in a good place, but he saw a big buck get up from a bed, and the buck just watched him drive by on the side-by-side. So he was just kind of like, oh, crap.
Yeah, and if you're not, if you're not switching those stand locations, I guess every year, those bucks can quickly become accustomed to where you're sitting, right?
They can, yeah.
And you guys I think I'm right. If you're at your Uncle Darren's, I mean, you drive in the same way, right? Like you can't access it really anywhere else. So
no, we pretty much have to go either down there's a bottom trail that kind of goes through everything, and then there's a top trail that kind of goes through everything. So we don't really have an opportunity to go around. Yeah,
I didn't understand because I know you hunted private. I wasn't. This past week's opened my eyes a lot to everything in general, and it's kind of like the first day I hunted. I videoed those does and those two young bucks in the field. Or no, actually, it was behind me. I was watching the field, and that doe and those fawns came through back on the creek, and I sent the video to you all, and you're like, "Well, hey, you already learned something. You need to get closer to the creek." So I could see where you're coming from. You're sitting in your stand, and maybe 3 days in a row, you have a deer trail to your east that instead of coming out in a field or something, they're traveling it, and you need to get closer. So I could totally see, like, you can set up anywhere, man. Anyway, I've got my saddle here. I know a couple people was asking.
Oh, no, say Jimmy Carroll's hopping off. Jimmy, thanks for being here, brother. Said he has doctor's appointments the next 5 weeks. Stay strong, brother. We're praying for you. We love you. Have a good night and a good week. Let us know how it goes this weekend, too.
God bless you, Jimmy.
And while you're doing that, I want to read this from Philip. Philip says, the big difference in hunting out of a saddle is that it's so removable and so easy to put back up. So even still on private land, you can still hang your stand in a different tree every single time. Hunt the same area according to the wind and the deer. I'm going to get used to seeing you in that, or the deer are going to get used to seeing you in that stand. So that's a bad reason to do a stand. After you own a saddle, what's the point of even owning a stand? They're putting a stand up on the property, just gives deer something to look at. So he's just saying, mix it up, vary where you're hunting, and that's the whole point of the saddle is to be mobile and be able to move.
Oh yeah,
right. And to be light when you're walking in. Of course, if you're on private and you have a side by side, you're driving to your tree stand. That's heck. When we went hunting opening day, we drove the side by side right to the blind, drove it back out, dropped our stuff off, drove it back out, walked in. 90 minutes, first deer showed up, and they didn't stop through the night. I mean, they were still showing up after dark. We shot a buck, dragged it over to the side. 30 minutes later, there was a couple bucks come in. Obviously, we couldn't shoot those. I couldn't because I'd already killed one. A few does come in, more does, more bucks. Now, after I shot the second buck, the second deer, which was a doe, and she left a big blood trail from the where I shot her to where the deer were coming in. They would stop at the and smell the blood, but they still were. Well, I mean, it kind of acted like bait. They would stop there and smell the blood. If I had another opportunity or another tag or something, I could have shot them, no problem.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun. Go ahead and show your saddle.
Yeah, of course. So this is the tether. This is exactly, John's running the same one. So this is the Phantom XL. Yes, we have XLs because we're big boys.
There you go. So it is one panel, and it sits. I mean, mine sits right on my waist. It goes down the bottom of my butt. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, it's literally, man. The reason I love it is because you have the sticks and the platform on your back. It's really light. All you do is literally, I get out of the truck. You can see the waist belt right there. I step through the bridge, tie up my waist belt. It's got 2 leg straps on each side. Throw those on, and I put my backpack on. I'm walking through the woods. It's got pouches on each side. These don't come on it unless you buy the new one. I think the new one that Tether just made has pouches that are already installed onto the saddle.
Well, if you buy the saddle kit, it will come with those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy the kit, it comes with those.
You can get the sis haulers. I love the sis haulers. But I'll tell you what my favorite thing about the saddle is. Well, an accessory for the saddle is the hiss strap. Even if you don't hunt a saddle, if you hunt out of tree stands, I highly recommend you go to tetherednation.com and look at the hiss strap. It's the
HYS, his straps. It stands for hang your stuff.
I'll never, ever, dude. I don't care if I hunt out of stands. I don't care if I hunt out of a saddle. I will never buy anything but a hiss strap, dude. That thing is incredible.
You do also need, though, with the hiss strap, you need to buy some good carabiners, or we don't really have, I guess, carabiners, kind of like the hooks that you can buy from Tether. Those are really the best.
This is the bow hanger that Tethered sells.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
this
carabiner with a hook.
Yep, you literally just hook that into the his strap and hang your bow. Your bow's going to be good.
Do you turn your hook around? I always turn mine turn the hook around. Yeah, that way
like this. Yes.
That way my bow doesn't hit.
To the tree here against the his strap, and then my bow is here.
Nice.
Yeah. So this thing's awesome too, man. But all their accessories are really, really good. Really good. It's quality. You're gonna pay a little extra, but it is good stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna last a while. I've not got mine out since last year. I've got more people sending me pictures. Hold on. All right, let's. We looked at Dwayne Best. He killed the turkey, which is always cool. This is. I'll go ahead and start sharing here. If you have pictures you want to send us, go ahead and do that. Ben Dreyer or Dreyer, maybe Dreyer or Dreyer. I'm not sure, Ben. Sent one. Now I'm getting ready to send to myself to show it. But this is share my screen. Where do we send pictures? Send them to me. Add me on Facebook. Send me the picture. And then I'll show it. So this is the buck that Brandon Kloss killed. I think he said it's 142 inches, I think is what he said.
That's a dandy.
Brandon has a farm that he manages. It's his farm. He manages it for deer, and he kills big deer every single year. So congratulations to Brandon. If we didn't know what it measured, I shouldn't have said what it measured. Those who didn't see his comment would have known. Now this deer, Dryer, like the appliance. I thought so. So this deer actually was killed. This was sent by Chaz McGahee, I think he said. I think is what it was. Yeah. So you see the sign back there, Mike?
Yeah.
That's their buddy Hurley, Lost Mountain Outfitters. That is actually where that is the same house where he's got that deer where I stayed opening weekend. So Chaz was right there with me. Sorry, Larry. Chaz is the wife. Sorry, Larry McGahee. Larry McGahee. Here's what he said. He had 5 bucks walk by me opening day. Very hard to pass. 160-inch 10-point, but this guy was behind him. So Larry had the opportunity to kill a 160-inch 10-point buck, but he took this buck who was right behind it. Never had the opportunity to shoot a double drop time buck. So you can see that's really cool.
Wow.
Really cool buck. What do you guys think that buck measures? There you go. We don't have Larry didn't give us a measurement on it. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Look at that buck. Huge. Double drop tine and some velvet. Got the mass on it. What do you guys think that buck measures? Mike, you give us the first guess.
I'll go. I'm gonna go 178 and an eighth.
178 and an eighth. All right, I love the precise measurement there. Love it. Oh, where'd that go? There it is. I don't think Larry is on here anymore, but we'll find out.
I'd love to know.
Absolutely.
Sadly, with Buckmasters, I think with Buckmasters, I'd probably go in the 180s.
Okay, yeah, I got you because it's Buckmaster. Now this picture. Oh, Larry's here. Larry, what did this buck measure, Larry? Let us know.
And congratulations, because that was an amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry for calling you Chaz. My bad. Forgive me. I haven't had it scored yet at taxidermist. Got it. I still have the hog head in my freezer that I need to take to the taxidermist. And I've not had a chance to drive out there. Maybe tomorrow. I need to get a hold of him. Ben Bauer. Ben Bauer is a taxidermist in Lawrenceburg. That's where Hurley and Lost Mountain take all their stuff. And he's excellent. He's one of the best. So if you're in this area, give him a shout. Now here's one sent by. Was it Robert James that sent this? Robert, did you send this one in? Josh, what do you want me to show? You got a buck to show?
No. I just sent pictures of them in that corn.
Okay, well, this is bucks only, buddy. You got to join the buck club.
Oh,
You got to get some
bucks
bucks on
only.
here. All right, well, how old do you think this is? And here's what we're going here. Robert James sent this in. Robert James also sent a photo of some 3 massive acorns and said, corn ain't going to do anything this year. He's the second guy today that told me there's a huge mass crop growing in where they live. So anyway, how do you think this buck is? Let us know. I did. Super smart. Always came in overnight. I was hoping to meet you all. What does it say? But Hurley said you all are sleeping from the late night. I actually, Larry, I had to wake up and leave at 6:30. But yeah, the Ohio guys were sleeping. Next time I'm out there, Larry, you have to holler at us. Let's see. Gordy says this buck is 4.5. Facebook user says 4. Let us know who you are, Facebook user. Robert James, do you know how old this buck is? Let us know, folks. What do you think? We only got 2 guesses. Come on, Mike. What do you think?
I was going to guess 4.5.
4.5. Okay. Yeah, me too.
5.5.
3. This one's going low, saying just a 3-year-old. He looks old to me. 4.5. It's Justin. Forgot to put my name. 4 from Seth. Hey, 4 is a good guess for me. A lot of 4s, 4.5. It's a nice buck. Not a crazy big rack. Am I wrong? I mean, it's not like it's a good.
No, he's probably. If I had to guess, that deer's probably in the 140s.
Well, that deer was in 2021, so he's probably he's whatever you guys said. He's 2 years older now, or dead.
I think he's a shooter.
Or for sure, yeah, no question for me.
All right. Speaking of a shooter, hold on here. Let's pull this baby up right here. Let's see here. All right, let me know what you think. How old this buck is? How big it is? I think this buck was taken by Oliver Anthony. It looks like you know who that is.
Yeah,
Oliver Anthony's buck. No, this is Michael. Michael's buck. Michael, does anyone ever tell you look like Oliver Anthony, the Richmond, north of Richmond guy? Because
that's handy.
You know, you got the hair and the beard. Michael J.
Those tines are long.
Michael J. Yeah, it's a nice. Actually, I saw this on Facebook. I love that Michael just said, you know what? It's 95 degrees. I'm ripping my shirt off. I'm going to field dress this thing. This is massive giant. Look at all that character. I don't know if you guys can see. Look at all the character on the
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
That's a pretty deer.
Yeah, you're making all of us jealous here, Michael. Is Michael still on here? I want to know. Do people tell him he looks like Oliver Anthony? Guarantee it.
Hey, just so y'all know.
I don't know who this feller is, though, but he don't seem too happy.
The Reds just took the lead 6-5 in the top of the 10th.
Ooh, Reds up 6-5, top of the 10th.
Runner on second, no out.
I'm going to predict that Michael killed this guy's butt because, look, he ain't smiling. And Michael's pretty happy there, so we'll see. This guy says 201. 201 inches, 5.5 years old. Okay. Seth says 4.5 years old. Joe said that's a good friend of his. Oh, Michael said yes all the time, I guess. People say that. I just thought it was funny.
It's a good buck.
Heck of a buck. Yeah. All right, we got a couple more here. If you got some pictures to show, you got 5 minutes to get them in. 5 minutes. Let's see here.
You hurt my feelings, so I sent you a video of my 4-pointer.
Can't show videos. Ooh, Justin, you sent it. So Justin's been sending us pictures every week, and I think this is the best picture he sent because it really is a good. Why's my hat crooked? It really is a good. Let's see, nice mass 4.5 for that last one. I bet it gets some deductions for typical, still hitting 165. It's really nice. I don't care about deduction. Who cares? Those scorers care, though. I know that. So this one came in 9-11 last night. Let's see it. Just a second. The anticipation. That's good. Look at that gut. Look at that neck. It's September 11th, and look at that neck.
He's hard horn now, man.
This is an updated photo from what Justin sent in last week.
Wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
He's a dandy, man. That's a pretty buck.
That picture, the buck before this, I forgot to say, the buck before this one, over 26-inch beams.
Wow.
The main beams, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, how do you guys think this one is? That one's still on the hit list.
I feel like that deer's about to start going downhill.
That deer's peeing on his hocks.
Man,
let's see. James Evans didn't have an age, but said sheesh. Gordy said nice bucks. James said I'd be shaking in that tree. Wow, from Robert. 5.5 or older.
6.5.
5.5. Yeah, it's hard to really tell without, the proper looking at its teeth, looking at its, whatever. I guess teeth is the way to age it, but that's a nice one. Dwayne says 5.5. Consensus 5.5, so we'll go with it.
Hey, speaking of that, I'd like to. You said teeth. Our buddy Kyle Sams is not on right now, but if you all think of it, if you kill a deer this year, send us pictures of the bottom teeth of your deer, and we'll share them with Kyle. Kyle has experience as a deer biologist, and he enjoys getting those, and I think he likes to age deer and kind of continue that practice.
We'll do it on here. We'll do it on here.
Yeah. So if you all get a deer, take pictures of the bottom jaw, bottom teeth, and send them to us. We'll chat about that, and we'll do some aging deer with teeth because Kyle likes to get those and look at them. So
this is Michael J. Sexton's deer. He killed the big 26-inch beam deer, looking like Oliver Anthony. This is before he had his beard grown out. He looks like Trinity here. You know Trinity, Mike?
Yeah, I do.
What's Trinity's last name? Shepherd.
Yeah, Trinity Shepherd. Yeah.
Look at that buck. The one. I don't know if that's just broken off on that right side or if it's just some kind of, I don't know. But this side is huge. These beams are long too. That side's not. But
that's a wild. I've killed a buck once, and I think I don't know if I could be wrong. I wish Kyle was on here. He'd be able to help us out with this. But I think something happens to where like there's little deformities on the tips of the antlers. Those
that's what I was thinking.
I think it's like some type of parasite, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
Where it creates
looks like it's almost on every antler on that right side.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it could be. You wouldn't think it's from fighting because it's not just broken off. It looks like it's grown like a crown or something on
almost
top.
Like a mushroom top a little bit. I killed a buck one time that actually looked the tip of the antler looked like a candle flame. Is what it reminded me of, a candle flame.
Yeah, that's still a really cool deer, really nice deer.
That's a very nice buck.
Justin Isaac said if he's able to kill that deer we showed in the last photo, he will send us a picture of the teeth. That would be cool to see how it is. Oldest deer I've heard of being killed that we've had on the show was when we did the public land challenge. We gave away a free bear bow, and the guy who won it, whose name escapes me right now, he killed it on Fort Knox.
Mm-hmm.
And the biologist there aged it at 10.5 years old.
Yeah.
Its teeth were just ground down to nothing. So Michael said this buck right here in this photo is 6.5.
Wow.
Yeah. That's really cool. Really.
Yeah, that's a cool buck.
Bobby says great deer. So
my cousin killed a 10.5-year-old doe down at Fort Knox not too long ago.
A 10.5-year-old doe?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, she was a big one. Fact is, Doug Clayton, he was on here a little bit ago. I think he's probably still on. He's killed he killed a huge doe down at Fort Knox. Fort Knox deer their body size can tend to be small, but Doug killed one off on field dressed. He killed a 123-pound doe one time.
Yeah. Now you tell me, guys. Tell me right here. Let's see here. Look at that picture. Should Josh be taking some of these does out?
Yep.
Come on. Come on.
Josh picked the biggest doe, picked the biggest one.
He's got one right here. No, Josh, don't do that. Just wait till they're all lined up. That annihilator take at least 2 of them out. Now that might make, hey, me saying that obviously was a joke, but it could make someone's Facebook page if they're watching. That could be controversial. It's easy to pull a 2-minute clip out and paint somebody as a bad sportsman.
Yeah, there's definitely some of those guys out there. I hope they're listening.
I'm just joking.
I'm not.
Don't take 2 for 1, Josh. But yeah, you definitely. I mean, that one right there is a little small.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Looks
doing
like
that
her
one.
spots are gone.
Yeah,
but I mean, any of these 2 right here look great. So
I'm gonna have to thin them out.
Yes or no in the comments. Should Josh kill one of these does next time he sees them? Yes or no?
2.
Simple answer: yes or no. Should he take one next time he sees them?
Yep.
Or should he puss out and go home empty-handed?
Nope. I shorted Doug 7 pounds. He's still on here, and he said it feel just 130. I said 123. So sorry, Doug. Didn't mean to short you on the 7 pounds there.
That's fine.
That was a big doe, but that was a really big one. Though. I remember that deer.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple. I think yes. Dwayne says take one. Yep. If you don't, he said he'll come take one.
Pick the big one.
I say the big one preferably, but if another one shows, you never know.
Dude, if they all show up in that corn pile like that, it's whichever one I choose. Because it's a clear shot.
And as Kyle would definitely let us know, at this point, the fawns, some people, and I'm like this, and we've talked about this not too long ago, so we won't go into detail. But if I won't shoot a fawn, and I also won't shoot a doe, that's a really pretty picture. I will not shoot a doe that has a fawn with it. But as Kyle would tell us, it's okay to do so because those fawns will be just fine by now.
They can survive. Once I think Kyle said once you get to September, those fawns are going to survive. This buck was sent in by Scott Butler, who said he thinks a poacher got him, which
man.
Yeah,
that happens. That happens more than we like to admit, I think. Yep.
That's a dandy. That is a pretty buck.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. I think I got one more. All right, I'm going to do one more. If you send anything in after this, we're going to have to wait. This is from Joe Carter. This one is a little hard to see. It's a little grainy, but I think you can see enough. This boat looks like it's smelling something here. Let's see. What about orphan fawns? Hey, do what you got to do, Christian. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you see an orphan fawn, I have.
Hey, the Reds won.
Yes.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, we needed it. Good job. Yes.
That's one game back.
Go
ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. If a fawn, I have seen before where somebody probably shot the mama doe or something, and eventually, my uncle we'd see a doe or a fawn by itself, and it would come through, and all of a sudden, early September, somebody killed it on the neighboring property or whatever, and you'd see a fawn run around by itself.
Yeah.
There had been times where later in the year we would continue to see that fawn, but once eventually they're out of spots, that's typically where I'm okay with that. I just typically wait and make sure that fawn's out of spots. That's typical. That's just a personal thing for me. I just don't do it. There's nothing wrong with it.
But let's just be clear. It's not unethical.
No, it's not unethical. You do what you. I mean, it's completely legal. There's no rule.
You probably wouldn't have shot that buck that I shot opening day. You would have passed.
Well, I would have passed that
preference.
Yeah, it's a personal preference. I would have passed that deer. We talked about it last
bigger. Week. Yeah,
I've gone 2 years without a buck now, and I'm just really trying to make sure I'm waiting for something that's going to be something that might rival my personal best or be a personal best. I'm just trying to wait and be patient.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And here's the thing: if you pass deer because you want something bigger, you're going to hear from folks. Well, you can't eat the horns.
True.
And if you take a deer that's a year and a half old, like mine was, you're going to hear, oh, you should have gave it time to grow. So at the end, who cares?
It don't matter.
What you want to shoot.
If it's legal and it's ethical, do it. And that's what we're for. Legal and ethical.
I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't be passing that deer up.
Gordy says, younger they are, better they taste.
I'll tell you right now.
Take the fawn.
On the property I'm hunting now, if it was 10 years ago, I'd have already shot a dozen arrows. 100%. I was so bloodthirsty back then. Every doe I seen, I would have been shooting.
Robert James has it right. Says he hasn't shot a buck yet, so he would have shot the one that I shot. But there's nothing wrong with what Mike said either. Totally agree, Robert. So that's what we're about, brother.
Good stuff.
I've only been hunting 4 years, 2 does down. Robert, you're with me. This is my 4th deer season. I've killed 2 does and a buck. So there you go.
Yeah.
You'll get it done this week.
Absolutely.
Year. So, all right, fellas, it is 10:07. It's time to hop off here, but it's been a blast. Who thinks by next Tuesday Josh will have a deer down? Who thinks? Yes or no? Who thinks he'll have a deer on the ground?
I think he will. You're going to shoot the next doe you see.
No? I don't think he will.
Here's the thing, guys.
I don't think he'll do it. I think
it's okay if I don't, but I can promise you this. I will have a bigger buck than John by the end of the season.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I promise you
that's not the question. He always wants to turn it around. I could have waited.
Because you're coming at me about shoot does. I'm looking for that big buck.
What did we just say? Both is okay. We're just I'm just asking. I'm taking a poll.
Gordy's calling the shot.
He'll miss.
Oh, he's calling the shot.
Obviously, you don't know my background, Gordy.
Oh, Gordy, he's gonna miss now after saying that.
It's not true.
If it was with a gun, I would give him a lot more credit. But I don't know how he shoots a bow, to be honest.
Josh,
with a gun, he's not gonna miss. Like
get you a doe this weekend and get it on film. That's your goal. I'm going to make that your challenge. Shoot your big doe and get it on film.
Listen, there's absolutely. Here's the way I look at it too, right? Dude, I have so many deer on the property. There's no pressure at all. That's why I tell people all the time, like my buddy that just got into hunting, like he's already talking about, dude, I'll kill anything. I'm like, dude, it's been 10 days. It's been 10 days.
I'm not saying you'll miss. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're not going to kill a 10-point buck and call me crying. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, for some reason, I just don't think you'll shoot it this weekend. I just think you'll decide not to.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that I can bet $100 I won't shoot it this weekend because I'll be in Cincinnati.
All right, so there's your answer. Got it.
Now the following weekend, there you go.
He's already wiggling out of it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, fellas. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody coming on here. As always, we greatly appreciate the likes, the comments, and sharing. If you're on here and you've not commented today, let us know you're watching. We want to interact with you guys. So next week, if you kill a buck this week, if you have bucks on camera, send us the pictures, whether it's a 4-pointer or a 14-pointer. Send us the pictures. We like to see them. We like to share. We like to talk about them. Yep. Duck season this weekend, go kill a few ducks. Elk season, go kill an elk if you have a tag. Philip Bitely, I think, is the only one who does on here. Other than
share some duck pictures.
Yep.
Share some duck pictures. Yeah, we'll have a good time. So, Mike or Josh, anything else?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get a doe down. Frankly,
Scott said he cries when he shoots a buck? ?
He gets very. I'm not saying crying, but he gets.
I cry just like when you cry when the last Twinkie leaves the box, my friend.
He gets very emotional, not crying emotional, but like, like I
don't think it's like that at all. But John doesn't get excited about.
Hold on, everybody, wait before you get off here. I still have the video from 2 years ago when Josh.
I have it right here. I'll show you.
Oh my god! I just killed.
Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. But here's the thing, guys, is I am an emotional person. It's very spiritual for me. I like it. I enjoy it. If you don't get excited about it, then you shouldn't be doing it.
That's not true. You don't think people shouldn't do it if they just kill a buck and they're like, nice shot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is the old saying is if it doesn't pump you up anymore, then the people are just going to quit. If it doesn't get you excited anymore.
I didn't go crazy when I killed those 2 deer. I just was like, All right, glad he's down.
But you don't get crazy over killing a deer, but you get crazy over catching a 3-pound largemouth.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't make a lot of sense.
well, but why though? Why doesn't it make sense?
I'm not ashamed of it at all.
I don't understand why that matters. See, but when those deer walk out,
hold on, let me turn this light off.
I don't know if we'll be able to see it good. Videos don't go good.
You should be able to if I turn the brightness and stuff down.
Did he Luke Bryan it? I don't know about that. I don't know if it's a Luke Bryan. Can't hear it. No, that's not the one. That was last year's. That's last year's. That's still not the one. It's the one before this that you sent us, and maybe we FaceTime. Maybe it was FaceTime.
That is 100% the one I killed at Mom's.
No. Okay. The same deer, but there's a video before this, right after you shot it, where you can't catch your breath, you can't talk.
I was probably pumped up, dude. I get amped up, guys. I'm not this guy that shoots his first 8-pointer and goes, "Well, man, that was cool. Season's over." That's not me. I get pumped up. John can tell you. He's told you all for years. I'm an emotional person. I get amped up. I got an attitude sometimes. I get pissed off. I get happy. I get sad. It's just who I am.
I love it.
I'm an emotional person.
I love it.
Yeah. So he doesn't cry. He just can't keep it together, I guess.
Enjoying God's creation.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, it's time to go and enjoy a nice night of relaxation. Give me old Stan Potts. Yeah, he's not quite Stan Potts. He's definitely not Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan was kind of like, it's kind of overkill.
Is he down?
Anyway, is he down? Yeah.
Is he down?
All right, fellas, we're gonna go. We're just rambling now. People are leaving. WO Country said there's nothing wrong with that, Josh. WO.
I love you, WO.
WO might be hard. It might be hard for him to talk if he kills one of those big bucks he has. Giants. So anyway, Mike, Josh, appreciate you. Everybody watching, appreciate you. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Have fun. Be safe.
Love you, Scott.